The forest ecosystem has many environmental, economic, social, and cultural aspects. The world has a total forest cover of about 40 million square kilometers, which is 31% of total land area. Nova Scotia has an Acadian forest covering about 75% of our province. The audio for this video is of a forest and freshwater ecosystem, including the sounds of a river running through the forest and various species of birds. The connection of these two types of ecosystems is important and affects many aspects of the life within them. Having the river within the forest provides a different kind of habitat, increasing the diversity and allowing more species to live there. Ecological diversity can be measured using the Shannon Diversity Index, which looks at the relative abundance of a species in the community. Rivers connect to lakes where we can find even more species and habitats. For example, if this forest did not have the rivers and lakes nearby, the beavers would not be living here, as well as the ducks, geese, and other animals and vegetation. Rivers also play an important role in transporting nutrients, for example, phosphorus and nitrogen. The main source of phosphorus is from rocks, and this gets extracted through erosion and will be washed into the soil. Plants, fungi, and microorganisms can absorb phosphorus from the soil, and animals can eat these plants. The eventual decomposition of plants and animals will return the phosphorus back into the soil or water into sediment. Nitrogen can be obtained by plants and animals with the help of bacteria. Atmospheric nitrogen can undergo nitrogen fixation, which cyanobacteria and some soil bacteria facilitate, converting it to ammonia. This can then undergo nitrification, where ammonium is released and can be converted to nitrite and nitrate by soil microbes, which can then be used by plants. Animals will eat these plants, and eventually, when they decompose, nitrogen can be returned to the soil. These nutrients are needed for the algae and vegetation in the water, which forms the base of the food chain as primary producers and the first trophic level. Primary producers include organisms that create their own energy from photosynthesis. The next level up is the primary consumers, which feed on primary producers. These are also known as herbivores. Next is the secondary consumers, which feed on primary consumers, and tertiary consumers feed on the secondary consumers. Food webs can become very complex, but here's a simple example of what a food web can look like for a forest ecosystem in Nova Scotia. Forests are also important for the carbon cycle and acting as a carbon reservoir. Atmospheric carbon dioxide has been increasing exponentially due to the burning of fossil fuels and land use. Creating carbon sinks has been one effort to offset the increase in carbon, as when trees grow they will be taking in more carbon. The issue with this is that when they stop growing, the area can no longer act as a carbon sink, and forest fires will release the carbon back into the atmosphere. Forest fires are a type of disturbance that forests face. The process of recolonization after a forest fire is called secondary succession. This can happen naturally or can be assisted and managed. This can be connected to the Mi'kmaq guiding principle of two-eyed seeing, which incorporates Western scientific knowledge and Indigenous knowledge. The valuable strengths of both of these perspectives are brought together for a goal of understanding and mutual benefit. Overall, we know that many ecosystems can be connected through the various ecological processes taking place, and each of them are essential for the functioning of life on Earth.